We should not forget about the dollars in our eyes while doing the foundry or running the foundry. And I'll pass on the word for you.
Great,
to you.
thank you very much. Now, thank you, Jean-Baptiste. You did a great introduction. Starting at Hub Foundry is fun. It's great, and you should have fun. But it costs a lot of money. Lolly, dosh, woola. Right? You need to think about that. You really seriously need to think about that. And this presentation came about after I followed a conversation on one of them discussion forums, I can't even remember which one it is, where someone seriously proposed that it would be a good idea to charge $7,000 for a font family of 2 weights. So I got irate. And I said, well, hang on a second. Have you ever thought about how much you're actually going to make an hour? Yeah. So consider this. A 3-weight font family, so light, regular, bold, Eastern and Western European character sets, will take you about 250 to 300 hours to produce if you want to do it seriously, to good quality, like Jean-Baptiste pointed out, good artistic quality, but also good technical quality. By the way, good technical quality is important because it avoids support. But we come to that. So 250 to 300 hours. So if you have $7,000 and you have 2 weights, which is probably around 180, 190 hours, you can start doing the calculation how much you're actually earning per hour. It ain't going to be enough, I'm telling you now. And I'll tell you why. So, in order to figure out how much you have to charge for your work, be that for a custom font, or in a sense for a library font as well, you need to understand what your expenses are and what your potential earning is. So I would say you have 3 pillars here. So your personal expenses, the business expenses, and the earning potential. Now it is important to separate the personal expenses from the business expenses for taxation purposes. You have to clearly make a distinction here. Yeah. You may just be a single trader, under which, of course, in taxation law, everything is treated the same. However, business expenses are tax deductible. And trust me, you do not want to give the state too much money. Very important. So, let's have a look what potentially your personal expenses could be like. You are paying for all of this every single month. This, by the way, is not made up. This is the list your divorce lawyer gives you in England. I know from bitter experience. Now, for example, you're obviously going to have your general expenses, whether you're on your own or with your lovely wife or whatever, and then the children come along. That jacks up your expenses. I'm sure Dan Reynolds, knows very well how expensive that has become when you have to start buying nappies. Being a pack of nappies costing you approximately about 10 euros, and you go through a lot of them as well. You have to start thinking about all this. Or simple things like, oh, I want to eat out. Well, a meal out in Berlin will probably set you back, what's that, 15 euros, 20 euros? In London, it's going to set you back 50 or 60 pounds. Yeah?
Not so much a difference, huh?
No? Okay. Well, it's a lot of money. You need to earn that. Yeah. So, very important. Also, there was something, income tax. Income tax, you need to calculate that. Because the money you earn from your business, being that directly from your business or as a wage, is income taxable. Income tax, depending on where you live, is anywhere between 10 and 50%. Yeah? Denmark has a really huge income tax. The US is much lower, But you need to calculate that. So in the UK, your income tax, if you're like an earner up to £42,000 per annum, you pay 20% income tax. So basically, whatever you earn is actually only, you have to deduct 20%. You have to use that as an expense. So actually, for calculation purposes, you need to rate much higher. Yes? Does that make sense? Then you have your business expenses. Lots of people don't, for example, think about social security that you have as a business have to pay if you have employees. Your part. It is an expense. It's usually 10%. 10, 15%, again, depending on jurisdictions, usually 10, 15% that you as an employer pay on behalf of the employee. It is an expense for which you have to make income. You know. Now, again, you can say, okay, I'm a single designer, an individual, I just work from my bedroom. You know. Again, here it's very important to separate between personal and business expense, because you can deduct the usage of the bedroom from your tax as an expense, and of course you can then deduct that money from your personal expense because it goes toward the rent that you're paying. You see, so you have to have very clear accounting sheets to accurately understand how much you are spending every single month. And believe me, it is a lot. And then you have, of course, your earning potential. So basically, that's the hours that you can draw letters, and every single character that you're drawing is going to earn you money. So based on a 40-hour week, so 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you have an earning potential of approximately 170 hours per month. 170 hours per month, which you can earn money. So if you say, okay, that's great, you know, I can charge $100. 170 hours, that is 17,000. You know, brilliant, wonderful. You know, I'm going to be rich. No, because you're going to have so many non-productive hours. For example, if the technical quality of fonts is not good enough, you are going to be fixing them, and your client ain't going to pay for it. These are hours which you are using and you're not being paid for. So that's instantly deducted from your earning potential. So you need to understand how many hours you actually have available to spend. Yeah. So social media, everyone every day spends probably about an hour or two on social media, spouting to the world, you know, how wonderful they are and everything. You are not earning in that time. You are not drawing, no earning, being poor. Simple. Yeah. You want to go on holiday. Well, if you're on holiday, you're not earning, but that has to be paid for. Oh, you're getting sick. Damn, you know, you're not earning. You're going into debt. You're going to be poor. You need to think of that. You need to calculate, on average, how sick you are going to be every single month. You know, trust me, people are sick. Trust me, you will have to put in about 5 to 10 hours every month just for sickness, you know, because you cannot predict. Again, same with holidays. You're going to conferences. Hey, all of us are at ATypI. You're not drawing. You're not earning.
CJ has the computer open.
Yeah, except for him, you know, he's doing things. You know. So if you do all these deductions, you end up from the 170 hours with roughly 90 to 95 hours per month that you actually can draw in, that you can actually earn money with. That's it. You could then say, oh, that's not a problem because I can increase the hours I'm working. Yeah, brilliant, but by the time you're increasing the hours you're working, you're not spending the time with your family. Your girlfriend or your boyfriend or husband and wife is going to have a say about this. Your kids will have a say about this. So you need to start thinking about work-life balance. How much do you really want to work? You know? So the idea is that you're maximizing the income with minimizing the effort. So you need to find that balance. So here we can calculate your fee per hour. So you take your personal expenses and your business expenses and you divide that by the earning potential, the actual hours that you have available to draw stuff. And that gives you your hourly rate. It's quite a simple thing. And then that hourly rate you can multiply over the hours it takes to design a typeface, to design anything, you know, brochure, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you haven't thought of the profit margin yet, because you are not going to be working every day, because work is not just coming in, right? There will be times, there will be months when the phone doesn't ring, whatever you do. It doesn't ring, and you're starting to panic because, or for example, when your clients don't pay you, when you have a client, you say, fuck you, I'm not going to pay you. What are you going to do about that? Because your landlord is going to tell you, fuck you, pay me. You need to think of that. So you need to have a profit margin. So you need to add a profit margin to your expenses to correctly calculate your hourly rate. That is crucially important. It covers you for those times when you haven't got work. And I'm not talking about sick leave or holidays. When you're actually not getting any work in, or when you're not getting paid, or when the payment is delayed. It is about cash flow as well. So these are really, really crucial things that you all need to think of. So this is roughly how you calculate your fee. Now, it's a thumb rule. Obviously, everyone has their own thing, but it is a thumb rule that will allow you to eventually calculate your fee for your custom work, but it also gives you an idea when you draw your own typefaces for your font library, how much you need to make until you break even. And that gives you an indication as to how much you should charge for your fonts, and of course combined with what the market can bear. Obviously, there's no point you charging £150 or $150 for a typeface online when everyone else is only charging $20, because you ain't going to sell. So you need to have that kind of you need to play these various factors against each other. So this was a very quick intro in what you need to think of when you are drawing a typeface. I've actually prepared an Excel sheet with those 3 pillars. So if anyone wants, you can email me and I'll send you that Excel sheet so you can just put in your numbers and hey presto, you get your hourly rate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You put us back on track almost.